Are you the type of person who overlevels and oversupplies before a mission? If you think you are overly cautious, then you haven't met Seiya Ryuuguuin, an extremely prepared hero ready to eliminate things as simple as slimes with his ultimate moves. Hi guys, and welcome back to Anicap Explained. Today we'll recap Cautious Hero. Ready? Let's begin. A novice goddess Rishtart receives her first S-class job. She needs to summon a hero to save the world of Gaybrand from a demon lord. She summons Seiya Ryuuguuin, a hero from Japan with unusually high stats. When Seiya appears, she instantly thinks he is the perfect hero. However, when Seiya decides to train in her realm before jumping to the next world, she forgets that he is overly cautious. She rushes to another goddess named Ariadoa for advice. Rishtart decides to leave Seiya to train for a week. When she checks his status, she is shocked to learn that he reached level 15 from just doing simple workouts. They finally leave for Gaybrand and look for a blacksmith to buy equipment. He tries to buy 3 sets of armor and too many herbs. Outside, they encounter a slime. Instead of simply beating the low-level monster, Seiya unleashes all of his best attacks and completely obliterating the slime. Chaos Machina, a servant of the Demon Lord and one of the 4 heavenly kings, approaches them. Seiya and Rishtart run away after they learn that she's a level 66 enemy. They flee to the Divine Realm, and Seiya returns to training and kicks Rishtart out. While waiting for Seiya, Rishtart receives a message from Chaos Machina. She demands that Seiya and Rishtart return to Gaybrand, otherwise she'll destroy the town of Idona. Rishtart argues with Seiya and calls him the worst hero for being uncaring towards the city. Seiya tells her to give him more time because if he loses, the entire village will be lost, so he needs to be prepared. Much to her surprise, Seiya levels up enough to beat Chaos Machina. When they arrive, Seiya and Chaos Machina begin a battle. Chaos Machina transforms into her proper form, but Seiya reveals that he is using the fake-out skill to hide his actual level, which is higher. He destroys Chaos Machina and earns the respect of the town. However, to play it safe, Seiya destroys Chaos Machina's charred remains with his spell and accidentally kills Idona in the process. The town's mayor gets mad at them and tells them to leave. In the Divine Realm, Ariadoa suggests that Seiya should try training with gods instead. So Ariadoa accompanies Seiya and Rishtart to the Divine Blade God training area Cerseus. Reluctantly, Cerseus agrees to train Seiya. As the days go by, Rishtart notices that Cerseus is becoming depressed. When Rishtart finds Cerseus on the 4th training day, he hides from Seiya. It turns out Seiya is already stronger than him and refuses to let Cerseus take a break from training. Seiya finally finds Cerseus and drags him away for more training. Ishtar tells Rishtart that the Demon Lord plans to send Deathmedla to the town of Simul. So Rishtart and Seiya teleport to the city. They go to the church where they meet 2 Dragonkin descendants, Mash and Elyulu, who are training to defeat the Demon Lord. Seiya reveals that Father Mart is a zombie, but Seiya quickly defeats him. He destroys the remains, but also destroys the entire structure in the process. Seiya inspects his 2 new allies and isn't impressed with their stats. Suddenly, a group of knights appear and ask the group for help. Seiya agrees if he receives payment. Seiya and Rishtart race toward the area where the undead army is supposed to be. Seiya uses the meteor strike to wipe out the enemies when they arrive. After defeating the enemies, Elyulu tells Rishtart that Mash is missing. They go to Seiya's room, where Seiya synthesizes a sword using Rishtart's hair. Later, Deathmedla contacts them through the use of a 2-way viewing mirror. Deathmedla reveals that he has Mash captive. The group goes to Deathmedla's lair and fights him. Deathmedla summons a monster called Dark Virus, but Seiya discovers its weakness and beats it. With his monster down, Deathmedla quickly gets defeated. When they return to Simul, Seiya tells Mash and Elyulu that they will carry the group's baggage. Mash offers to take Seiya to the Dragon's Den, but Seiya insists they return to the Divine Realm to train. Seiya has Mash train with Cerseus, and Rishtart has Elyulu train with Hestiaka, the goddess of fire. While searching for someone to teach Seiya, Rishtart accidentally bumps into Valkyrie, the goddess of destruction. Seiya notices that he's powerful and rudely asks her to train him. Ariadona manages to stop them from fighting and arranges for Seiya to train with Adenila, the goddess of war. After 3 days of training, they all improve except Elyulu, who discovers she doesn't have an affinity to fire. Before they leave for Dragon Village, Adenil asks Seiya if she can tag along, but he rejects her instantly. At the Dragon Village, they meet Lidi, the Great Mother of Dragon. She shows Mash how to transform into a dragon. Lidi also tells Elyulu she will become Exasion, the legendary weapon. Lidi explains that Elyulu must sacrifice herself to create the legendary sword to defeat the Demon Lord. She tells them that the sacred ceremony will be held in the evening. In the evening, a feast is held in honor of Elyulu. As the sacred ceremony starts, Elyulu begins to have doubts. They force Elyulu to jump, but Seiya saves her. Levy says that she laced their food with a person with paralysis medicine as a backup in case they tried to stop the ceremony. However, Seiya reveals that he isn't paralyzed because he only pretended to eat. Seiya fights Levia and successfully knocks her into an abyss. After she falls, the sword Exasian appears. The party leaves, but Seiya admits that the blade is not Exasian. When they leave the entrance, they are confronted by several guards. Interesting story up to this point? Great, but before I move further, please subscribe to the channel and give us a like. Done? Well then let's continue. The guards introduce themselves as the Rose Guard Imperial Knights and ask the party to fight the Demon Lord's forces near Olga Fortress. When they arrive in the area, they see Beelzebub and his horde take out several knights. They meet up with Rosalie Roseguard, a captain of the knights. They are led to Olga Fortress where they hold a strategy meeting. Rosalie wants to head out immediately, but Seiya tells her he will return to the Divine Realm and scolds her for rushing into battle. In the Divine Realm, Ristardt introduces him to Midas, the goddess of archery. While Seiya is busy training, Ristardt, Mash, and Elyulu see Cerseus, who informs them that Adenila is still mad at Seiya. Ariadna unlocks Mash and Elyulu's dormant powers while Ristardt decides to check on Adenila. She discovers that Adenila is furious with Seiya. Ristardt tries to warn him, but Adenila follows her. However, Seiya manages to calm her down by petting her. Ariadna shows Ristardt some of the dormant powers Mash and Elyulu managed to unlock during their training. Ristardt then proceeds to tell Ariadna about Seiya's training with Midas. The news shocks Ariadna, and she informs her that Midas is banished because she is a controversial goddess. Ristardt rushes to warn Seiya, but she finds Midis tied up to a tree. She frees herself and immediately attacks Seiya, but Seiya defeats her. With the party ready, they head over to Olga Fortress. They learn Rosalie went ahead to face Beelzebub. The group rush to the enemy's lair only to witness Rosalia get captured. Ristardt flies off to distract, and Seiya lands a critical hit to Beelzebub. Rosalie tells Seiya about the legendary suit of armor located in the village of Azael. The party journeys there only to find Kikapu, one of the 4 heavenly kings. Kikapul tells them that he has already destroyed the armor. Kilkapul admits he is weak to the party, so he exchanges his life to summon Crosthanatus to eliminate Seiya. Ristardt sends the party to the Divine Realm. Once they arrive, Crosthanatus follows them to the other realm and they run. Other gods and goddesses try to defeat the demon but are unable. While running, Seiya reveals he plans to enlist Valkyrie to help them. Valkyrie ends up beating the enemy, and Seiya asks her to train him. Meanwhile, Ishtar tells Ristardt that the last of the 4 heavenly kings are leading an army. When they return to Gaybrand, they witness Woke's Roseguard the king defeating Eraser Kaiser. However, he turns into a child before their eyes. Rosalia rides to the group to pick up her father. She tells the group that her father turns into a baby due to a curse placed on him by the Demon King. When the party finally gets to speak to Wokes, the Demon Lord's army launches an attack on the capital. Seiya, Mash, and Elyul leave to fight on the front lines. Meanwhile, Ristardt learns about the Chain of Destruction, an item that can permanently kill gods and heroes. She also knows that Wokes is working for the Demon Lord, but just as Wokes is about to strike Ristardt, Seiya appears and rescues her. The fight leaves Seiya badly wounded, but he allows the party to have fun while he heads off on his own. Ristardt, Mash, and Elyulu spend the day having fun in the town. However, when they return to the inn, they discover Seiya is no longer there. The group is sent to a different realm to speak to Ishtar. The goddess reveals that Seiya has left them to confront the Demon Lord alone. The group discovers that Seiya is a hero previously summoned by Ariadna, who used to be reckless. Due to his past actions, he failed to save the world and the woman he fell in love with. Ishtar reveals that Ristardt is the reincarnation of Princess Tiana, Seiya's lover in the past. Ristardt, Elyulu, and Mash decide to go to the Demon Lord's castle. Before the group can help Seiya, he unleashes the Gate of Valhalla. However, the skill starts to finish up Seiya's life force. Ristardt uses her magic to heal him in time. However, the Demon Lord bursts through the door before they can celebrate. Seiya manages to use the Gate of Valhalla the second time. This time, Ristardt is unable to heal him. Before he disappears, Seiya says goodbye and realizes who Ristardt is. As punishment, Ristardt is tasked to save a world called Exphoria without her divine healing powers. However, before she accepts, Ishtar reveals that Seiya was only sent back to his world. She cries tears of joy when she learns the hero she will be working with is Seiya. The anime is comedic from the start and slowly gets serious in the last 2 episodes. It still tries to throw a few funny scenes here and there toward the end, but it doesn't ruin any heartwarming moments. If you're looking for something funny to watch, then try this anime. Thanks for watching, and if you liked it, then please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing so you never miss out on any new recaps. That's all for today. We'll see you at the next one.